Twilight fans are divided about the possibility of a revival, and many are venting on social media. The Twilight Saga, a film series based on Stephenie Meyer's well-known books, debuted in 2008 and was centered on the romance between Bella Swan, played by Kristen Stewart, and Edward Cullen, played by Robert Pattinson, who is revealed to be a vampire early on. In this video, we will look into the upcoming reboot of the Twilight Saga, and also delve into why this movie is getting a spin-off while the prequel never saw an adaptation. The series' box office success throughout its theatrical run helped Stewart, Pattinson, and Taylor Lautner, who played Jacob Black, further their respective careers. Twilight is getting a new start as a television series more than 10 years after the last film. Although little is known about the project, fans are already sharing their opinions online, and many of them appear to be divided. The Twilight Saga is being adapted for television by Lionsgate Television. This information was provided to The Hollywood Reporter. Sinead Daly, whose other works include Tell Me Lies, The Walking Dead World Beyond, Raised by Wolves, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, and The Get Down, will pen the script for Twilight. Sources claim that Daly and Lionsgate TV are working together to decide the parameters of the Twilight adaptation, such as whether it will be a direct adaptation of Meyer's books or a separate spin-off. Both Wick Godfrey and the former Lionsgate Motion Picture Group co-president Eric Feig, who acquired the rights to the Twilight book series after Paramount Pictures passed away while working at Summit Entertainment, are attached to executive produce the television version. All 5 of the films distributed by Feig's Summit were made under Godfrey's Temple Hill label. The movie series, which produced Taylor Lautner, Robert Pattinson, and Kristen Stewart, brought in more than $3.4 billion globally. Twilight is a significant part of Lionsgate's filmography. There are many more stories to be told, and we're ready to tell them when our creators are ready to tell them, Lionsgate CEO John Feldheimer said during an earnings call in 2017, 5 years after Breaking Dawn Part 2 concluded Meyer's film adaptation. Feldheimer was referring to both the Twilight and Hunger Games franchises. The news of a Twilight TV series comes as Lionsgate is attempting to find a buyer for Starz, its premium cable network, and its studio division by the end of September 2023. The third quarter saw a 25% increase in revenue for the Lionsgate studio division, which includes the production of movies and television shows. Additionally, Lionsgate TV will resurrect Stephen S. DeKnight's Spartacus sequel series. Lionsgate TV developed both Spartacus Blood and Sand and the prequel miniseries Gods of the Arena because the Spartacus franchise continues to play a significant role in the studio's library. Reboots continue to be easier to market, differentiate themselves from the competition, and increase the value of long-standing library properties. Recently, Party Down was revived by Lionsgate and Starz, and the studio is thinking about making a Weeds sequel. Following a run on Netflix, the Twilight movies have made the switch to NBC's Universal's Peacock for streaming. The release of the Twilight books coincides with Max's recent confirmation that a Harry Potter television adaptation, which has plans for a 10-year run of J.K. Rowling's adored book series, with the controversial author on board as an executive producer, is in the early stages of development. Amazon last year released a new version of The Lord of the Rings. Discovery has plans to release new episodes of feature films based on J.R.R. Tolkien writings, but genre programming is still in high demand. WME, Kaplan Peroni Entertainment, and attorney Ashley Silver are Daly's agents. Before moving on, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel before continuing for further updates. Coming back to the topic, given that they are reportedly producing a series version of the author's books, the Twilight TV series may be yet another straightforward adaptation of Meyer's 4-book tale. It would be wise for the TV show to tell a new story set in the Twilight universe, possibly based on one of the author's companion novels, like The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, rather than another straight-up adaptation of Meyer's books. This is because the last Harry Potter movie, The Deathly Hallows, came out in 2011, and the last Twilight movie, Breaking Dawn Part 2, came out more recently than in 2012, which presents the problem. Now, let's talk about something that you all might be wondering. Why did the Twilight franchise spin-off novella, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, never have a cinematic adaptation, despite being a hit when it was published in 2010? What do you guys think? The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner can get its movie. I don't think so. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. For movie studios, cashing in on pulp culture phenomena that are well liked by teenagers is notoriously difficult. Like the Divergent film series, there are pricey flops whose target audience outgrows the source material before their adaptations can ever reach theaters for every hit franchise that succeeds in capturing the interest of adult viewers, like The Hunger Games. The Twilight film series appears to belong to the first category, since, although not drawing in many adult audiences, the movie adaptations of Stephenie Meyer's book series were commercially successful. The Twilight adaptations mainly succeeded in capitalizing on the success of the tale while it was still popular and before its intended audiences grew disinterested in Team Jacob and Team Edward. The short second life of Bree Tanner was never made into a movie because there weren't many Twilight good enough scenes that could be turned into a movie. A brief interlude called The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner describes Bree Tanner's life before her death, rebirth, and subsequent second death. It mostly centers on the young vampire's tragic romance with Fred and ends with her being put to death by the Volturi. Volturi is the largest and deadliest antagonist in the tale, yet that alone was not enough to make the novella deserving of a standalone film adaptation. The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, as the title suggests, didn't have a lot of tales to tell, and what little there was rather gloomy. That wasn't the only problem with the suggested adaptation, though. Marcus is a significant antagonist in the Twilight franchise, but even though Breaking Dawn refers to his unexpectedly terrible past, the movies never explain it. Although the Twilight franchise brought author Stephenie Meyer's young paranormal romance novels to the big screen, the film adaptations had to exclude a lot of backstories to adhere to respectable runtime requirements. The backstories of many Cullen family members and almost all of the villains in the franchise were left out of the Twilight films, which caused New Moon to waste Alec and Jane by failing to explain what made the adversaries so particularly deadly. The loss of Jane and Alec's past in New Moon lessened their suspense, while many of the Twilight villains lost part of their humanity as a result. For instance, throughout the whole Twilight film series, the distant member of the Volturi, Marcus, appears unconcerned with his coven brethren's cruel schemes, but the adaptations never reveal how he got to be that way. The solution is revealed in Meyer's companion books to the Twilight series, but the backstory is so heartbreaking that many readers may end up rooting for unfortunate Marcus as a result of the series' terrible conclusion. Around 1370 BC, the ambitious Arrow converted Marcus, and the two soon became the founding members of the Volturi. Marcus, however, was a wandering nomad and only half-heartedly participated in Arrow's intentions to rule the vampire world because of his lack of a permanent home. Marcus grudgingly joined the coven with the two after Arrow introduced him to Caius, and the Volturi depicted in the saga was created when the group overcame Twilight's Romanian coven. But soon after the group took control of the vampire world, Marcus was the victim of a devastating betrayal because of Arrow's obstinate quest for more prestige and power. As the video comes to an end, guys, tell me which character you're excited about in the Twilight Saga. I want to see Bella. Let me know your favorite in the comments section. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you at the next one.